Hey, what's up guys? My name is Moda and welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel. Today's video got some pretty crazy news. Looks like we're gonna have a KASPA ASIC miner coming from BITMAIN sooner than we expected. So yes, BITMAIN ANTMINER KS3 guys. So pretty much got officially confirmed from BITMAIN. We'll talk about what we found and some quick speculation on what it might look like, right? So if that sounds good, guys, stay tuned, all right? So let's get to it. So before we start, huge shout out to T-Swift in Discord for bringing this to my attention, right? So I went ahead and just confirmed it, went on BITMAIN's website, went to support, download, look at the firmware list, and there it was, right? So if you go through, there is a KASPA K heavy hash firmware listing for an Antminer KS3. So again, this is from BITMAIN's website. So they are 100% working on it. It is coming. We do not have any specs or timelines or anything like that other than the fact that it's coming. And don't be surprised to see an announcement in the coming days, right? Maybe as soon as BTC Miami. Maybe they'll wait a little bit longer. Who knows? But definitely, I would expect it 100% to be announced before the Ice River is supposed to officially drop or whatever, right? So pretty crazy stuff. Did not see BITMAIN coming first. I thought it was going to be either IB Link or Gold Shell dropping an announcement pretty much to kind of block Ice River a little bit, but it ended up being BITMAIN. And it's pretty interesting because they're most likely going to be top of the line. Right? Meaning that even if Gold Shell or IB Link do decide to release one, they do make an announcement, this thing is likely to blow it out of the water. Just like it's most likely going to blow that Ice River out of the water as well. Right? So freaking RIP to all you guys who took the plunge with that Ice River thing, even though it was freaking scam written all over it. But this is going to probably decimate it, right? Your only hope now is that this thing isn't going to release until... most likely it's going to come out. But there's just no way around it. So it's coming and it's going to change things quite a bit, right? Depending on how powerful this guy is, which is probably going to be pretty powerful. The other big thing to consider is, again, BITMAIN can mass produce, right? So they're going to produce as many as they need to, which probably won't be as many because, again, even if only they do a small batch of like 500 to 1,000, it's going to decimate the network, right? To the point where it's going to completely change it. I know some people were speculating that maybe GPUs can coincide for a while because maybe they were hoping that, Ice River would only release a couple hundred of these. This is going to change things and it's pretty much going to guarantee that it's no longer going to be GPU mineable for the foreseeable future once this thing releases, right? Unless they do a limited release of like 100 units or something, which is highly doubtful, right? So keep that in mind, right? If you are GPU mining it, or like in my case, where if you're mining it with an FPGA, get everything you can now because you're not going to be able to pretty soon, right? My hope with these FPGAs was that I was going to be able to at least ride through most of the summer, right? My prediction was that even if this Ice River thing was real, they were going to keep delaying it throughout the whole summer because whoever the people who have them just going to make all the money they can off of it, right? So my personal prediction was that we're going to be able to mine pretty much the whole summer. Expect a release or an announcement sometime during the summer and a release sometime maybe like early fall, right? But it looks like that's going to get bumped up a little bit, and especially the fact that it's BITMAIN, right? If it was Gold Shell or IB Link, maybe there was still the hope that it wasn't going to be as great. But we know with BITMAIN coming, it's probably going to be top of the line, right? Meaning it's going to be on that 5nm platform. They're going to be on chips that these other manufacturers can't get. And that's the reason it's most likely going to blow everything out of the water, right? And that's why it's such a big deal coming from BITMAIN. Right? I honestly didn't even think. I thought maybe it wasn't even going to be on their radar only because of that crazy emission rate, but here we are, right? So now let's speculate a little bit, right? Again, we have zero stats. We don't know how powerful it's going to be, other than that most likely it's going to outperform this Ice River, right? The one common point where we can kind of compare is actually using stats from the Molt Miner, right? Reason being is that this guy does KASPA and actually does do Kadena, which is what we're going to use for the comparison purposes, right? Because the KA3 came out, mostly going to be the same type of chips in this KS3. So we can compare to see the efficiency gain from this guy to the KA3 and apply that to the KS3, right? Just to give us a ballpark. This isn't going to be exact. This is just easy math. We're just ballparking just to get an idea, right? So we can see that this guy here, if we put it in Kadena, does about 130 gigahash, right? Which when we compare it to, convert it to terahash, right? Because the KA3 is 166 terahash, right? So you can see how drastic of a difference it is. We put 130 gigahash in here. Terahash, it's only 0.13, right? Meaning that it's over 1,000 times more powerful, right? So let's just do easy math. So now, again, just for comparison's sake, we put in the 166 terahash, and this confirms it. It's 166,000 gigahash, right? So it's more than 1,000, but just, again, easy math purposes, we're going to multiply it by 1,000, right? So going back to the Molt miner, we know this guy does about 8 gigahash, right? So theoretically, if we were to multiply it by that same amount, 8 gigahash is going to bring us to 8,000 gigahash, right? We're multiplying by the 1,000, meaning you're going to probably want to expect at least 8 terahash, right? Realistically, it's probably going to be somewhere between 8 to 15. Could be higher, right? Depending on efficiency gains from using different types of chips. It's not going to be a one-to-one conversion where it's going to be exact. So, but I would expect, honest prediction, at least 10 terahash, maybe as high as 15 to 20. Could be even higher depending on the types of gains that they get, right? It also just depends on how many boards they have. If they end up using just, maybe it'll be a smaller guy where it's like a 2,000 water versus a 3,000 water. All those types of things will affect it as well. But personally, expect it to be at least 10, right? Maybe as high as 15, maybe as high as 20, maybe even higher, right? It's going to be pretty nuts because the Ice River, the KS2, is already such an exponential gain, right? But looking at it, this is the higher end guy, and this guy's coming in at 2 terahash, right? So expect this guy to be 5 times or more powerful than this guy, right? I highly doubt also the price is going to be that high, right? So again, we don't really know yet, but well, I mean, we'll see though. We'll see how greedy Bitmain wants to get. But just even for more like craziness, let's put it into a calculator, right? So if we put in, because we're going to put it in mega hash, right? We're going to copy how many mega hash it is, which is about 8 million, right? So we plug that in here. That brings us a daily revenue of almost $3,000. Insane. But factor in, just like with like the KE3 and all these, this is going to drastically change depending on how many of these units they make, right? If they end up dropping 1,000 of them on us at once, it's going to change drastically because that hash rate is going to go through the roof, right? So if you're one of the lucky ones, though, who get in that first batch and get it quickly before everybody else, again, freaking $3,000, even if you have a 2-week heads up. That's crazy money, right? So again, this is all theoretical. We don't know how powerful it's going to be, but I honestly think it's going to be at least that much, if not more, right? So again, this is crazy right now, but again, as these units come out and as that whole batch releases, it's going to change. But the one thing that's pretty much almost going to be for certain now is that it's not going to really be GPU mineable, at least profitably, right? You throw your GPU on there, but you ain't going to make nothing, right? It's like if you try to GPU mine Kadena right now, you ain't going to make nothing. So just some stuff to think about, guys. If it's something you're interested in, like I definitely would be, might want to start getting your finances in order and to potentially try, because if this thing comes in at a decent price, I will definitely be trying to gun for it. Realistically, it's probably not, right? Realistically, don't be surprised to see this thing for like 25, 30 grand, or don't expect it. There's also another personal prediction. It's probably going to be 5 times plus more powerful than this guy and potentially cost as much as 1, right? Which realistically is going to seem like a deal, right? But who knows? Who knows what the price point will be? Who knows if they even really mass produce it? Maybe Bitmain does Bitmain and they just freaking mine on it themselves. We don't really know, right? So time will tell. The only thing we do know, again, is that they are 100% working on it. So meaning it is coming. Again, no specs. As soon as I hear anything, I will let you know. I will keep you updated. But again, for those of you mining it, mine at full freaking tilt. Get everything you can right now, right? Because these, after this summer, most likely not going to be GPU mineable, right? Or just depending on how fast this thing drops. If they freaking release this thing in 2 weeks and they drop 1,000 of them on us, then it's game over, right? So just be aware, guys. Fortunately, I did think we were going to have more time, but things have changed. Luckily for those of you guys who do have FPGAs, that is the one benefit, is that even if KASPA's over, which that was going to be my guess anyway, I was expecting pretty much just to get these next 3 months out of it, and that's it for KASPA. Hopefully we'll be moving on to Radiant here pretty soon, both with the Molt Miner as well as the Osprey. Even the Osprey, it seems like they're working on it. Not only working on it, but that it's coming close to release, right? So yeah, again, that is one of those benefits with the FPGAs, is that you're able to move around. ASICs, you're going to be stuck, right? So if you do get any ASIC in general, you want to get top of the line, which most likely Bitmain's going to be it, right? Especially for the foreseeable future, especially heading into the bull run. This is probably going to be it, right? So again, we'll see what this price comes in. Maybe don't be surprised to see some crazy like 50K number, or who knows what the hell they'll come up with. But I expect it to be expensive and expect it to be extremely, extremely difficult to get, right? So if you are in the market, you are considering it, you may want to get your finances in order, because also don't be surprised to see if this is like a shock drop where Bitmain tweets at like 9 or 10 a.m. and just releases it, right? For pre-order, at least. I don't think we're going to see it, and it's shipping in 2 weeks. Most likely, if this thing does get listed, it'll be similar to like the KA3 and all those, where we're gonna get the pre-order, we're gonna pre-order it, then it's gonna get delayed, and then and then it drops, right? We'll see what happens, but pretty exciting stuff though, right? It's definitely bringing even more validity to KASPA. A lot of people have been hesitant on it, which just seems crazy to me because it's been in the top 100 for quite a while. A lot of money in it. I know a lot of people get tied up with CoinMarketCap, and they mainly use that, and they're basing everything off of there because they have it listed in the 200s. But guys, look at that real market cap, look at the volume, look at the interest in it. It's legit, right? And again, this just validates it even more, right? All right, guys, let me know in the comments if you're thinking about getting one, right? Actually, give me your predictions. Let me know what you guys are thinking, what you're thinking the hash rate's going to be. If you have any like price point predictions, let me know. I'm curious to see if any of you guys think what I'm thinking, where it's going to be in that range, or some of you guys think or have heard that it's going to be even crazier, right? Let me know in the comments. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. So again, thank you for watching, guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I am out.